Hello and good morning, everybody, and welcome to Lawyers and Dragons. Yes, I had way too much fun this week teasing that we were going to do something exciting, interesting on Saturday morning. You know, I love games. I love the camaraderie that comes with games. I love the creative thinking that comes with games. And I thought, what would be more fun than having a game time with some of my favorite people on earth? And that is, of course, some of my legal colleagues here on YouTube, but I'm not a GM. I don't know how to run these things. I'm about 20 years separated from actually playing tabletop role-playing games, much to my chagrin. But as you get older, it gets a little harder to get the table together. And so I have brought in a pro. This guy is one of the best of the best. He has helped make all of this happen, including that awesome animation that you just saw at the top of this video. I want to introduce you all to David Grace at The Real David Grace, or I think just Real David Grace on Twitter. David, how are you doing this morning? Are you ready to play Dungeons and Dragons with what could be a whole group of rules lawyers?
You know what? This is a challenge for all of you out there that are D&D fans, and you know what rules lawyers are. This is a huge undertaking for me, and I want to say I'm nervous going into this. How's it going, everybody?
I don't think we're going to be that bad, but I'll tell you why that is. That's because we have one dedicated ringer in terms of our Dungeons and Dragons players. Everybody welcome Ian Runkle from Runkle of the Bailey. He's ready to go. He was asking about which edition we were playing in the pre-show. Ian, how are you doing this morning?
I'm pretty tired, but doing good.
Pretty tired. So, all right, we'll work that into the story, right? We had a long night. We're going to have some fun. We're a little tired going into this adventure. But in addition to Ian and myself, 20 years separated from tabletop role-playing game, but still playing enough video games in the genre to feel comfortable saying, you know, magic missile and whatnot, we've got two newbies. So for the folks that asked me questions about what kind of video this was going to be, are we going to be doing, you know, tactical videos and we're going to have little heads and moving around and ambushing goblins and things? This is going to be a storytelling kind of adventure designed for people like Rob of Law and Lumber, who has never, I don't know, Rob, have you actually ever rolled the die? I don't even know. Craps?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
He doesn't know how we got here, folks.
I'm in sheer panic.
He knows he said yes. He doesn't know what he said yes for. And of course, Alyte of Legal Bytes. How are you doing, Alyte? First time in Dungeons and Dragons land.
I don't even know how I got here.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, like Rob, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm very excited. And so far, the introductions that we've been getting behind the scenes have been somewhat comforting. So, you know, it's my first time playing any new board game. I'm always a little anxious until the end, and then I'm like, oh, I should do that a second time because then I'll be better at it and whatever.
Well, and I see your brother has popped in earlier. We're going to talk about chats in just a second. But Andy, the game maker, Legal Bytes, she has about as much charisma as Vecna. I find Vecna, as depicted in television show Stranger Things 4, to be very charismatic. Actually.
Very charismatic.
I'm at least a little bit attracted to Vecna. So we'll talk about that later.
Hey.
We'll work through those issues on a different stream.
By the stats, Vecna's, I think, charisma 16, so very charismatic.
Yeah, right? Yeah, Vecna's pretty good.
No clubbing with
This
Vecna.
is not helping my panic. This is not helping my panic. I don't know if that was insulting or a compliment.
I don't know either.
You know, reverse carded it. It's okay.
On the topic of chats, since we do have new players, since we do have folks that are going to be grappling with just the storytelling as well as some of the rule stuff, because we have to have a structure to our game. If you super chat, if you otherwise ask questions, I'm probably not going to be popping those up during our adventure because I want to keep everybody kind of getting into it. I know you guys want people to get into it. We're going to get into it, but I'm not going to bounce out to that. So if you want to super chat, that's fantastic. I will capture those. I'll either do them in kind of a post-mortem behind the scenes after show that we're not going to make everybody be here for necessarily, or we'll do another episode where we talk about those things. But yes, as part of that super chat process, that comment process, this is a one-off adventure. This is what I consider a pilot with possibilities. If you like this, if you love this content, if you want to see more of it, if you want me to be able to convince Alyte and Rob, drag them in to this again, leave comments, leave that engagement. Let us know that you're liking this because I would love to do it again, I think, but we'll see how it goes. So let me know on that. Probably not otherwise going to pull up super chats during the actual stream. I think those are the messages I wanted to get out. And so, folks, Lawyers and Dragons, I'm going to hand it off to David, our fair game master, and take it away, boss.
All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Lawyers and Dragons, trademark pending. I am your host for today, David Grace. I am the game master over on Proto Topics, and let's just go through and introduce our players for today, starting with Hoeg Law. Go ahead and introduce your character.
Well, I did ask this question. I did a poll on Twitter about what people thought I would be. I've always considered this pretty obvious. This is what I always play as. So I am not stretching myself too much here, but I love it. I am, of course, a paladin. I'm also a dragonborn red. So I'm a big old red dragon with the fire breath and everything else that goes by the name of course, Phileas Franz Falcor III. But my friends call me Falcor. I'm also known as the Dragon Slayer. We might get into that at some point during the adventure. We'll see. I don't know how much kibitzing we'll be doing around the old campfire. But I'm excited to do this. I'm generally going to be showing as lawful, probably lawful good, but who knows what'll come up. But yes, Falcor for me, and that's it. I'll be tanking some folks, I think, ordering them around a little bit.
And that brings us to number 2 of this group, Runkle of the Bailey. Go ahead and introduce your character for us today.
My character is Mazarin, and I'm not going to stretch too far by going with a gray-haired old wizard. I know a lot of people online were saying elf, but, you can't always go with elf. So he's dressed in sort of clerical robes from the Temple of Maestra, and I also made a prop for all this. So
look at that.
That's dedication.
Look at that. That's fantastic. I shall drink from my goblin mug in celebration.
This was in the works a long time before the game was, but I hurried it up to get it finished for this. So, a little bit of a curmudgeon, but a good-natured sort. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay, that brings us to the 3rd member of our party, Legal Bytes. Go ahead and introduce your character.
My character's name is Teresa Beadley. I'm a protector Aasimar, which I hope I'm pronouncing that correct.
Yes.
Aasimar?
Yep.
Okay.
All in our heads, Alyte. You can pronounce it how you like. We're going to work around it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have never heard of this term before this project, but apparently I'm charged by the powers of good to guard the weak, to strike at evil wherever it arises, and to stand vigilant against the darkness. From a young age, a protector Aasimar receives advice and directives that urge to stand against evil.
I think we can all get behind that. Maybe.
Well, I'm intimidated now because I only have evil. So we have a problem here. Which brings us to the 4th member of our party, Law and Lumber. Go ahead and introduce your character.
Will Rob speak?
I am Wistari Lumberlas.
That's right, folks. Lumberlas.
Lumberlas. Yeah, I'm a wood elf and an arcane archer. I'm learning what I do and how I live and who I am. And apparently I don't sleep very much. Elves don't sleep at all, which matches me. So yeah, that's that. And I shoot magical arrows. We are going to learn who I am as we go along in this adventure.
Okay.
It's about the friends we make along the way.
Rob's selling himself short, folks, because he got told he was going to be shooting magic arrows in this adventure, and I got a series of texts that you would have thought that he just got $1 million when he found out Friday. All right? So don't let him give this whole I'm so tired and I'm not super excited about this. He is ready to shoot some fools with some magic arrows. So you should be here for it, because I know Rob is.
And with that, everyone, we have our party. We have our adventuring crew. Let's get this adventure on the road. Okay, so here we go. Trouble plagues the small village of Houseworthy. Mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, dogs, cats, goldfish even are all going missing in the night, taken by shadows. Lord Arundel, lord over the lands of Zephys, has issued a letter requesting aid and investigation of these disappearances. With a promise of gold and the one thing warriors want most, reputation, the adventurers of... Oh, wait a second. Wait, what's your
we're the
adventuring
Fairfax
party name?
4. Yeah.
Fairfax
4.
The Fair...
If you prefer Fairfax, but that gets a little close to saying bad words.
Don't do that one. Don't do that one.
Fairfax 4.
There you go.
The adventurers of the Fairfax 4 find themselves in the woods just off the main road that leads to Wallingmar Chasm, the place that such shadows are said to be originating from. Here in your camp, the sky above is dark with countless stars in the sky. A small fire gently illuminates your surroundings, casting silhouettes in the shadows of the night. You'll notice 3 other adventurers surrounding your camp. The first is a large man made of large muscles named Victorian Duke. Sitting next to him and using a dagger to pick his teeth is a smaller human known only as Wheatley. And lastly, hanging to the rear of the group, a stoic orc watches intently as the fire dances. Their name is Gugnog. You've traveled some 3 days to get to this point, and you are just finishing what would be a short rest. So you feel a little bit more replenished. You've just been hiking and walking. And so here you are sitting around this campfire. You're very close to the chasm that you've been traveling to. It's the middle of the night. I now put it forward to you. What do you guys want to do?
Do we have any leads on this at all?
Well, of course we have leads. We've been traveling here. We know exactly where we're going. Here's the map.
Oh, okay. All right. Let us read the map.
Yeah, boss, I got the map, boss. And you'll see that little Wheatley puts the dagger down and pulls out a map that just like is a scroll and just scrolls along the ground. And it's mostly nonsense, but then you'll see an actual map of where you are. And you'll see that you're actually very, very close to the cave. You're about an hour's distance away.
Well, what say you, group? Shall we go to the cave?
Enough resting. Let's get on our way.
I see Mazarin is excited about the prospect of killing. Let's go, team.
And what say you, Lumberlas?
I agree. We should go.
Very good. Well, then I think we'll just pack our things and leave now. Although it is about 3 a.m., and I've heard that there are things that move through the night around here. Dangerous things. Things such as the undead.
How far would you say we are from the cave in perhaps something like meters?
Meters? We don't use meters here. We use miles.
Miles, feet, something along those lines.
I think we're about a good 3 miles away.
Okay. We'll wait then. Let's go. It's 3 a.m. Let's do it.
Yes, I can see very well in the dark. We should go.
Yes, you have dark vision, is that right?
I believe
So we'll put Lumberlas out in front. He will lead us, and we'll walk behind him, like a good deal behind him, and he can let us know if there's any issues on the way to the cave. What do you think, Lumberlas?
I'm concerned that my arrow won't be as effective from out front, but my vision is a good trade-off, so we should do that.
Excellent.
Kind of sparse on sort of gear. Do we have like lanterns and torches and so forth? Because
Yes.
I don't see well in the dark.
You'll definitely have torches and things at the ready to light your way.
I have some kind of a sacred flame. I don't know if that's helpful.
You do have
I'm
a
Ron
sacred
Burgundy?
flame. Sacred flame is an attack spell that you could use on
Okay,
an
never
enemy.
mind. Okay.
But you do have light, I believe.
I thought. Okay. Yeah.
I think you
so.
have light.
I do have light.
So you can cast light on anything and it'll light up.
Useful for 3 a.m.
Yes. 3 a.m.
Fantastic.
traveling through the woods.
Okay.
Fantastic, Teresa. Cast light on my shield, and I will lead along with Lumberlas, who's scared and a little bit worried that his bow and arrow won't work for us.
All right.
I
Yes.
think that was a feeling.
So the orc is going to go over with a bucket with water in it and put the fire out. And so it's going to become dark very quickly. And the other two are going to grab their bags, put their bags on, and begin walking. Do you guys follow?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's you, Teresa.
Oh, yes.
What is the lineup that you're going to be walking in? Who's going first and who's going last?
I'll walk in front. and then I think Rob, and then I think Lumberlas, and then Mazarin, and then Teresa. I think that's the right way to do it. What do you think?
I agree.
Okay.
You guys will be walking along for a few minutes. You'll have your torches out. You'll be able to just kind of see a very narrow path in front of you. The brush is very thick, so there's a lot of trees and bushes and everything. And you'll see ahead that the road just kind of continues for a long while, and it's a long road.
You said we saw a head, like a head.
Ahead.
I thought you said
No.
that too. I was like, oh no.
I was glad that sentence continued on.
Not yet. No heads yet. You see a road. You're still on this road, and to break the kind of silence and create conversation, Victorian is going to lean over to Falcor and say, "You're a bit of a big man. What is the largest creature you've wrestled?"
Wrestled? Well, any monster that I find myself head-to-head with dies before any wrestling ensues.
Really?
Really?
So you really live up to your name of Falcor the Dragon Slayer? Is that it?
Don't use that name with me.
Oh, did I trip a nerve?
Well, as you can
tripped
see,
a
I'm a
nerve,
dragon. They call me the Dragon Slayer because of some indiscretions I had in my old kingdom. Why do you think I'm out here in the woods at 3 a.m. with these adventurers?
Is that what you all call yourselves, adventurers?
They can call themselves what they like. I call myself exiled.
So what did you do to get yourself exiled there? As the little one speaks up.
It's a tale I'm not quite ready to tell, but suffice it to say, my kin were slain because I sought refuge in the arms of another.
Wheatley is going to immediately break, as you're saying this, he's going to break concentration while, like, this conversation. He's going to immediately go over to Teresa and say, "Are you also exiled?"
Oh God, I have no idea.
What do you wait, you don't know?
I am so sorry. I'm going to be breaking character so many times during this. Is this just where I like make up a story for myself? Or
So this is like the whole point is it's really just riffing on this kind of thing, and yeah, breaking is totally fine. This is just the fun of it. It's just to be able to play off of each other.
I really like
until
you
something comes
exiled.
up.
I feel exiled from my sanity.
Hey, Lumberlas, also grumpy.
What do you have to be grumpy about back there, Wood Elf?
Well, I'm sitting here staring at a dragon slayer's ass as we're walking towards her behind as we're walking
You know
towards
you
the
love
cave
it,
in the middle of the
Lumberlas.
night.
Then don't stare at it.
Well, how else am I supposed to find my way? There's no light out here.
You see in the dark, man. You look at
Well,
what
maybe
you want to look
the
at, and I don't blame you for it at all.
At this point, you guys will be moving along. And I need all of you to roll a perception check.
Ooh.
The first roll of the game, folks. So
just
on
roll the die.
yeah,
Ooh,
roll the
17.
20-sided.
Yeah. I'm looking at a 9.
I got a
I have a
17.
6.
Okay.
then
Mazarin,
Rocking a 10.
a 10.
Modified.
Okay, so all of you.
I got to look
Aren't
at my
really-
modifications.
Oh wait,
though.
there's modification. Hang on.
Yes. So, but even with those modifications, Lumberlas, you hear something is moving in the bushes,
Well, this
kind
is
of
good.
tracking you, following you, moving alongside. Now, first on the left, and then seconds later, now on the right. What do you do?
I'd like to use my divine sense to check for evil.
Is that what I'm doing? Is that a suggestion?
No, that's me. Did you ask? I'm sorry. Did you ask Lumberlas? Is he in charge?
Yes. Well, Lumberlas is the only one who picked up on these movements.
Okay.
You guys didn't get high enough on the
Well, then I should alert everyone else that I picked up on these movements. I
Then
picked up
alert
on
us.
movements. Does anyone else have a skill that they might use to help us figure out what these movements are?
Well,
That's some lawyering right there.
So you look left and right?
I look left and right.
You see in the dark, and you see that there are creatures moving. You see like kind of pieces of them, but you don't see all of them moving through around the trees, hiding, looking at you, and they do not look friendly. No. And as of right now, your team has not been alerted to them.
I'm going to alert my team. I'm going to scan, look some more, and I'm going to alert my team.
Okay.
Do you guys see? Well, you might not see because only I can see these things. There are imps that are around us right now, and they do not look friendly. Any suggestions from the group? We are shooting blanks.
Falcor, do you now cast divine? You use your divine sense?
Yes, I'll use my divine sense.
Okay. So Falcor, basically like mostly like a sonar, you feel as you notice that there are 5 creatures around you, and they are undead.
5 undead around us. They're only
surrounding
4 of
you.
us. Wow.
Well, plus the other 3 buffoons, but
yes,
we don't worry about that.
I don't use them as shields.
You can. I mean, that's a possibility.
The same team, man. Okay, so there are 5 undead around us. Mazarin, what do you got against the undead?
Nothing particular. That doesn't work against everything.
Okay, fantastic.
Does religion work against the undead?
Teresa, you're darn right. What kind of good stuff do you have? Should we proselytize? Undead. Turn away from your undeadness.
I have persuasion. I don't know. I'm high on the charisma. Is this where I pull this from? Or no?
You look at your sheets, but I'm not sure charismatic people are terribly effective against the brainless.
You could persuade them to turn around and go the other way, perhaps.
What's that? You said undead are here, and then all of a sudden you just see 2 arms come out from the dark and grab Wheatley and drag him into the brush. And you go as he gets pulled into the trees.
Wheatley,
that sucks for him.
Oh no!
I give chase.
It'll be all right.
Everybody, roll for initiative. So this is our first initiative roll. What you're going to do is
below. 20-sided?
Yes, 20-sided, and then you're going to add on your character sheet. There's going to be that little initiative plus.
17.
18 modified.
So initiative plus is.
It's in the center at the top of your first sheet.
Sorry, I had tweaked my sheet. It's a 19.
19.
Center. Sorry, I'm looking for it here.
No worries. It's right under where it would say your class level and race. It's the middle box.
Oh, okay. Mine is +1. I rolled a 16.
Okay.
So you and I are tied.
And Lumberlas, what was that roll?
Oh, it was a 2 + 3, 5. So I have no initiative this morning.
Granted.
All right. So what happens is going first here, you'll watch as 2 of these creatures just kind of emerge from the dark, and standing in front of you, you'll see zombies and their brains. And they're going to go, and first they're going to try to swing at Falcor because he's the first one that they're getting close to. And they rolled. Does a 13 hit.
Hang on.
Well, I think my armor covers that. Does it not?
I can turn the undead. I just realized.
Yes, you can.
One of my abilities.
Wheatley is dead.
Did we actually lose Wheatley, or is he just gone? There's the distinction between those.
We're going to chase another undead. Like,
I'm going to go chase after Wheatley.
Try to kill us.
Oh, I'm going to chase after Wheatley.
All right, but
I'm not letting that little guy die.
First, as the guy, like the first zombie is going to swing on Falcor. And what's your armor class?
So
Hold on.
Okay.
There goes first.
You have no initiative right now.
Yeah, we do.
So it's an order of who goes first, and so like when it hits your turn, then you could turn undead, and that's going to be epic. What Valcor, the armor class is
19.
19. So this thing comes and swings with a 13 and just like hits its hand into your armor, kind of bouncing off. The second one is going to come up and try to bite you.
Bite me.
And it rolled a 15 to try to bite you. So it just kind of lunges and can't get through. But you're surrounded now with 2 zombies basically on top of you.
2 zombies
And
on me. Okay, all right.
Mazarin, it is your turn with Teresa on deck after Mazarin.
How far away did the thing manage to drag Wheatley?
So you watched it drag him about, at that point, it would have been like 20 feet away, but it's in the dark. And unless you have dark vision, you won't be able to see it.
Nope.
There are two zombies on top of Falcor, and you're worried about Wheatley being dragged off into the forest?
Who are we if we are
You know
not
what?
if we are not adventurers that seek to save the innocent, Lumberlas? Good God, man.
You know, you can say that all you want until you turn into a zombie.
One of those 2 can handle themselves.
Lumberlas the Craven.
How close are they?
So they are 5 feet from Falcor, which would put them at 15 feet from you.
All right. I guess I'll move up to one of them and try to smack it with a scimitar. I'm not going to break out the blade song quite yet, but
Okay.
Go get him.
that is probably not my most fantastic roll, and I'm using Green Flame Blade.
Okay.
That is AC 14.
There's a whole level of strategy being used here that I'm completely unaware of.
Alyte, all he did was say, "I swung my sword." We got you from there.
You swing your sword and you hit.
All right. On the one I hit, and I think there was a second one next to him.
Yes.
The one I hit takes 5. And the other one, if I can spawn the flame onto it, will take 7. So 5 slashing and then 7 fire. So Mazarin pulls out his scimitar, walks up to one of the things, slashes at it, and when he does, there's an arc of flame from that arcs onto the second zombie. So he's breaking out a little bit of the magic at this point.
As the second zombie gets hit with fire, it kind of ignites a bit as it's got very tattered clothes, which very much makes a light around all of you, and you can all see much better now as the zombie is swinging its hand.
Right.
Brains.
So we're able to use them as a torch. Perfect.
The light show.
Yes. You can now see 2 other zombies that are on the other side of you.
Oh my.
And now it is Teresa's turn.
Okay.
So
So-
to recap,
Wise, there's 1 flaming zombie with me, 1 injured zombie with me, 2 on the other side closest to Teresa and Lumberlas. Is that right?
that's right.
Okay.
And then the one dragging Wheatley away.
A 5th
You
one.
stop it, TM.
Okay. So I what I know is I can, as an action, present my holy symbol and speak a prayer censuring the undead. Each undead that
Okay.
can see or hear you within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. If the
So-
creature fails its saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage.
So what I need to know from you is what is that prayer going
Yeah,
to be?
you gotta
Which
say the
can
prayer.
be anything you want, because anything you say counts.
Okay. I will use my holy fizzy water, and I will say, "Holy moly, guacamole." That's the prayer.
We got a zany cleric with us all.
As Teresa says, holy moly guacamole, these creatures will roll their saving throws. 3 of them will turn away from you, including the one that's on fire, and move a couple of feet away. So now they all have their backs to you except for 1 that you haven't engaged with yet.
Okay.
So now, being that they have their back to you, many of you will be able to roll with advantage on your turn, which we'll get to in a second. Are you going to move, Teresa, or are you going to stay where you are?
I don't know what's better.
Anything you say is
Question.
Sorry, what are the two options again?
Oh, you could either stand still or you could move to another place.
Where else can I guess back away?
Okay, yeah, you could move to behind your party. So
Okay.
Teresa moves behind everybody, which gives you a clear vantage of the entire battle. So you can see
Okay.
everybody. You can see everything.
Okay.
And with that,
Sure.
it is Falcor's turn.
All right. How many are around me and how close?
So right now you have two of them that have put their back to you.
Oh, okay.
And which means when you attack, if you use your weapon, you'll be rolling with advantage.
All right. Well, I would like to hit the one that looks the least injured.
Are you using your weapon?
Yes. Yes. Well, yes. Well, there's two in front of me.
Yes.
Good Lord. Why not? Let's get crazy. We'll use our breath. Let's hit him with some fire.
Oh, okay. So Falcor, that is for me to roll a save for first. So I'm going to roll that. Okay. Falcor, please describe what your dragon breath looks like.
Yeah, sure. So I unhinge my jaw and let loose a flaming cone of green flame into the forest and zombies around me, which might seem like a bad idea, but I say go big or go home. That's the Falcor way.
Okay, and both of them failed their saving throws, so they'll take the full amount of damage.
Get lit, kids.
So I think that there's a dice number there for you to roll for damage.
Yes, it looks like 2d6, right? So that's
2d6.
two sixes.
Yep.
So I've got a total of 5 on the dice, which is not the greatest rolls of 2d6s if you're keeping mathematical track at home, kids.
So you guys will watch as Falcor leans forward and just ignites red flame over these zombies.
Green flame.
Oh, green flame. It's green flame.
Green flame from a red body. I like contrast.
Oh, okay. And then at which point, one of them, the one that was already on fire, just collapses dead, moaning out of brains as it dies.
He had a bad day.
Yes. Is that it for your turn?
I think so. Right now, if I'm understanding correctly, Teresa has used her fizzy water to turn them away, and that will last till a next turn, or what is the length of time? Okay, so yeah, I think they're taken care of. So otherwise, I think are any of the zombies near any of my fellow compatriots here?
So you'll know that there's another one that's moving in closer to Lumberlas on the other side.
So I guess I would like to approach, and if I have enough space, get in front of Lumberlas, potentially in kind of a kneeling position with my large shield, and try to get between the zombie and Lumberlas.
Yeah, you're able to do that.
Okay.
But as you move in front of Lumberlas and create a distance there, the creature gets an attack of opportunity. So when you move in front of somebody that's engaged, they can attack you.
Yeah, let's do it. He's worth it. I mean, he's a little cowardly, but we like him.
So he's going to swing on you with an 18.
Ooh, okay.
18 armor. Does that hit?
I have 19 on my armor class.
So it is just going to hit really hard, and you're going to take the brunt of that damage, but you don't feel anything. The brunt of the hit, you're able to withstand. So you protected Lumberlas. And now it is the two of the other zombies go now. The first one is going to try and overcome the fizzy water spell.
Oh.
And does with a nat 20. It just turns back around.
Oh, no.
Looking right at Teresa and comes charging in to attack.
I picked wrong.
And it rolled a 1. So it turns very intensely looking at you, and then starts to bolt at you, tripping on a root and smacking into the ground.
Great. Excellent.
You got to respect the nat 20, nat 1 combo.
It happens. The second one is going to go, and once again, it is going to try and swing on Falcor. I can't make this up. Also rolling a nat 1. At which point, it just brings its hand down, its undead corpse-like hand, and hits onto a spike coming off of, or one of the edges on your shield, and it is now considered grappled as you've restrained it.
Okay.
It is stuck to your shield. Lumberlas, it is your turn. There is chaos ensuing around you. You're getting attacked by zombies. Some of them are on fire. What do you want to do? Wheatley has been dragged away. We don't know where he is.
I'm going to attack the two that just had laid glancing blows on Falcor and what's her name? I'm going to use my extra attack and attack twice.
Okay, awesome.
And I guess I've got my bow, so I'm going to shoot an arrow at these two a-holes.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and roll the 20-sided dice.
19 natural, which...
That's a hit.
Yeah.
It's only going up from there.
It's only going up. So you knock an arrow and shoot, and it connects. So now go ahead and roll for damage, which I think you have. You have like a +8, or 2. I think it's a 2d8.
Which one was that? Was that mine or Teresa's? Because if you're using a bow and arrow at a zombie attached to my shield, I've got complaints.
I'm going to say that one was a Teresa's.
So you shot the one that's on the ground.
So 2d8. So I roll 2 of the 8-sided dice, or what?
Correct.
Okay. Hang on. Rob is dumb. Total 8.
As you knock an arrow and shoot, you just kind of shoot it through its back, and it is now impaled, stuck to the ground, and it is trapped there, taking 8 damage, but it is still alive.
At least stuck to the ground.
Now, with your other attack, you can now roll that.
Okay, rolling my other attack. Ooh, that attack did not do great.
Uh-oh.
That was a 4, and then modified. Where am I? This is dumb. Not dumb. I'm dumb. This is not dumb. I'm dumb. I can't remember where I'm looking to modify my attack.
You have. I know you have a +8. So what was it? 4?
Yeah. So that's
12.
Yeah, 12.
So Falcor, because this one. To be clear, are you attacking the one that's near Falcor, or are you attacking the one that's...
This is the one that's near Falcor.
So you shoot the one that's by Teresa, and then you turn and shoot another arrow, but kind of shoot wide. And Falcor, you watch as an arrow flies right past your eyes and into the tree line.
For God's sakes, man, if you'd stop looking at my ass and look where you're aiming, these kinds of things wouldn't happen.
It's too big. You're the giant. Aren't you a giant dragon dude?
I'm a giant dragon dude, sir. Yes, thank you. And kindly, please don't fire your bow and arrows when we're 4 feet apart and there's a zombie affixed to my shield.
Brains.
Well said, zombie. At least I can talk to you.
And with that, the other goons that you've been traveling with are going to yell, "No, Wheatley, we must save him!" And they're going to just run into the brush after their friend. You won't see them. Eventually, they just kind of fade into the darkness.
And we'll be like, "Well, finally, you're doing something useful." Have they just been standing there the whole time?
Yes,
it hasn't been their turn yet.
I don't remember how long terms are, but that was like 1 minute of us.
Each rotation of everybody going is only 6 seconds in game time. So only 6 seconds have actually passed, even though it's been like 20 minutes in real time. This game is silly, guys.
So, David, I just want to be clear here for just a second. Do I have a slightly alive zombie that says brains affixed to my shield, both with the spike on it and a Lumberlas arrow?
The arrow is
Lumberlas arrows in the gun. That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's just wildly
It went past your head.
Yeah, it went past your head. But you do have the zombie.
Do we have any binding agents that I could otherwise just tie the zombie to my shield and scare other zombies away with him on the front? Because I think I'd like to do that.
This is
also to remind.
I can turn
Lumberlas
him
of
into a
what he
light,
did.
I think.
You gotta tie it up and then put light on it. So lighting your light.
It's a glow shield.
The zombie skull
Brains.
that says brains on the front of my shield. I like it. I like
zombie
it.
goes to a rave. I love it.
I mean, at least make him useful, right?
But before we could do that, Mazarin, it is your turn.
Is there still a zombie next to me?
Yes. It is turned from you.
Well, let's bring him a little closer. I'm gonna throw out a lightning lure, so he'll have to make a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw.
DC
A
14.
lightning lure sounds cool.
It is rolling at disadvantage because it is turned its back to you, but it is still going to score 15.
Which unfortunately is going to make it succeed, so it doesn't get pulled over, and unless it's already within 5 feet, it will take no damage.
Yeah, it rolled a nat 20 and a 15. So disadvantage.
How did your brain reach that conclusion that fast?
That's
Been doing this a little bit.
Eventually, you just catch on to it.
It's a system for creating outcomes, Rob.
I've only been playing about 30 years, so then I'll sort of back up a little bit to hang out near Teresa.
Okay. So you don't have bonus action?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of, anyway.
So then, Teresa, it is now your turn. And to recap, the goons have run in to rescue their friend. There's still a zombie in front of you that is pinned to the ground. And there's another zombie on Falcor's shield saying brains. What do you want to do?
So I have a question.
Yes.
When it comes to these spell slots versus like unlimited spell slots, like how should we be strategizing the number at this point?
Because this is a one shot and this is its own adventure, I would go all out and just use them all in whatever strategy you want. But keep in mind, it is not 11 o'clock yet, and this is only the first encounter, and the next one might be a little more challenging.
Okay. So maybe I'll just stick to my unlimiteds for right now.
Don't let him fool you, Teresa. The next one could be a court hearing. We don't know what's next.
If I get to bring a bow and arrow into court, things are going to get wild.
I've seen that happen, but I wasn't playing with lawyers.
Sometime later, I'll tell you guys the story of including a statement of claim in a game I was running.
So how about I turn Falcor's undead into a light source?
Yes, you can cast light on the shield. So it starts as like kind of a ball of light, and you just throw it, and Falcor, your shield ignites in light, casting light in front of you, but also blinding the zombie who now can't see.
I like to think that we have a cool zombie shadow that we can put on things now. So, I'm pretty stoked about this. Thanks, Teresa.
Is it the zombie signal? Like not the bat signal, but the zombie signal? Just throw it up in the air.
Brains.
Look upon my shield in despair.
Teresa, that is your turn. Falcor. You
yes, I would like to seek a binding agent to tie the zombie on my shield to the shield as a kind of permanent basis.
So you all have a traveling adventure bag with you that you all have rope. So you just reach in, grab your rope.
I would like to tie the zombie to the shield.
Okay, so what I need from you is a dexterity check or a sleight of hand check. I give you the option to choose to tie it down.
Okay. Let's see here. We're going to tie this zombie down.
Like, are we saving the zombie for a rainy day?
How do we feel about a 4? Is that a strong?
It's one of its hands. It just keeps flopping around, and so you can't get a hold on the thing.
It's fine. It's fine. Leave it.
Are you going to eat that later? Or
I'm so confused.
Lumberlas, we're tying a zombie to my shield. I don't know what's so confusing about this, but you know.
Oh, no, I understand that part. I'm just wondering why we're tying a zombie to your shield. Are we saving it for later? Are we going to use him as a bat signal for other zombies in the future?
We have no idea what evil we face. Keep our options open, man.
So we're going to face evil with a zombie that's trying to kill us. Yes.
We don't know.
Good.
Maybe we can interrogate it later.
Brains.
it doesn't seem to have a lot of strong opinions.
He agrees. But as you are more dexterous than me, friend, perhaps you could help with the tying next time.
Falcor, that's it for your turn. The
Yes,
others,
indeed, and a great turn it was. Thank you.
the other zombie is gonna try and he's gonna try and get off of your shield. And he does not succeed with a 3. He is still stuck on the shield. The other zombie is going to try to crawl itself forward, but it is still pinned down, and it also cannot move, which brings us to Lumberlas's turn.
I'm just envisioning this shield, what just happened there. Falcor like fumbled around with a rope. Zombie tried to get off, so I just watched an idiot do something crazy.
He resisted me.
You deserve that arrow, Falcor. All right, let's.
Why are you so against a dragon wanting to keep a zombie on his shield?
You know what? Let's just finish what Falcor started. Let's tie that zombie to the shield.
Okay,
we're gonna watch the idiocy complete itself.
So with both of you doing it, Lumberlas, you will roll at advantage, which means roll twice and take the better number.
We're getting this done, friend.
13.
13
is the better out of 2 rolls.
plus your sleight of hand. So on your sheet there will be a sleight of hand modifier.
Sleight of hand.
It's in the second dexterity box.
You're a wood elf.
16.
You're good at
16. So, Falcor, you are able to grab those 2 arms that are flying around, and Lumberlas, you tie this zombie to the shield. It is fully tied up, and just with its mouth open, just keep Brains.
We shall have a grand adventure, Brains. I shall call you Brains.
Now Falcor has a pet zombie.
Yeah, you guys have succeeded. There is still technically 1 zombie still left alive that is over by Mazarin and Teresa. But before we jump back to Mazarin's turn at the top, you guys hear a screech come from the woods.
Oh no.
Oh no.
A loud scream.
Did Wheatley die?
I told you, Wheatley comes back as undead.
We can't have an undead goblin Wheatley. But if we do, I have another shield. Well, I'll get one.
Oh, God. Mazarin, it's your turn.
Oh.
I'm just going to try to hit the thing on the ground with the scimitar.
Roll with advantage because it's prone.
Sure. I'm going to leave the whole shield business to the professionals on that one. So 1 was canted. All right. The best was 15 at +6, so 21.
Hit.
And that'll be D6 +3 for 6 damage.
Okay.
It's just that easy, Rob.
Yeah, my head's still back at like his decision to hit it with a scimitar. I'm just envisioning.
Yeah, he hit it with a sword. He rolled some dice. Now we know what happened.
Okay.
Mazarin, you step forward, and now I get to use the biggest catchphrase in D&D at this point in time. How do you want to do this?
Critical roll. I mean, it's on the ground. Master just kind of steps up to it, puts his foot on its back, and just lops its head off and sort of kicks that into the... Or actually, I'll keep that around. So just sort of lops the head off. It's like...
We could have a satchel if we're collecting zombie heads.
Are you done with whatever that is? Sort of pointing to the zombie on the shield.
No, friend. We'll be bringing him along on our adventure. What do you think of that, Brains?
Brains.
That's right.
I like brains.
Brains is not fruit.
Oh gosh. With that, you guys will have successfully completed your first encounter in Lawyers and Dragons. That's our first
Yes.
Made
our
it.
first one done.
We
Made it.
survived.
Nice.
You guys are still standing.
And we have a buddy.
You've made a friend.
Oh God.
I love that his name is Brains now.
Of course it is.
Brains is brains.
I like brains.
I am brains.
So now, to be clear, you guys have a lot of light you're casting. You're able to see between the fire going out on those zombies, the light that is on Falcor's brain shield. I need to know what you guys are doing. Just a second ago, before Mazarin killed that last guy, you heard a screech come from the woods. What do you do?
Yes, I'd like to aim my shield in a lighthouse type fashion with Brains towards the sounds in the forest. Brains, what do you see, bud?
To be clear, the light spell was on the shield, and then you tied Brains on top of the shield.
Yes, it's a little darker
there's,
now, but
there's
I get this.
There's a Brains shadow you just project.
Yeah,
That's right.
It's the brain.
Yeah.
It's the brain
He's
signal.
a bad signal.
Who knows who we might intimidate with that later?
Every so
Right.
often, it just wiggles. So
I
you
haven't
just see
even
the
used some of
shadow
my
wiggles
special
every so
powers yet.
often.
Oh, yes.
As you turn and cast your shield.
Somebody
into
was
the
asking
woods.
about my dice, so
Oh, yes. Are those metal?
those are metal. I've
That's
got
the
some
mark of a
cheaper
pro.
dice.
I also saw a recommendation in the chat that the zombie's name actually is Elaine.
No, because Elaine
I-
doesn't have brains.
Well, neither does the zombie.
Maybe, yeah, this was trying to get him.
Yeah.
No real world
Yeah,
politic or dramatic statement.
We're not doing that. That was bad. Bad.
Our
Bob.
zombie's name is
leave.
Brains.
Fair. We will
I
continue
don't even
with
know what
Brains.
you talk of with these outsider names.
I mean, it is funny to think it's saying, "What if any?"
What
Brains.
if any brains? And that's the T-shirt, folks.
That is pretty good. What if any? What if any Brains? That's right. For those of
Sorry,
you who want
pro
to do some
character
R's of a
presentation.
giant red dragon with a zombie on its shield saying, "What if any?" It's all there for the taking, friend.
And for a moment, you just see Brains just kind of like freeze up for a second as he's
Oh, no.
blue screen of death, and then he comes back online. Just Brains again. As you move and point your light source over, you see one of those party members is laying down with blood
no.
coming down out in the woods. What do you do?
Teresa, you're a cleric. Are you willing to run out there? I'll run with you. I have a shield with a zombie on it.
Can cure wounds.
You can cure wounds.
Funny enough.
So I would advocate for Teresa and I to run in and see what's happening, but it's up
Okay.
to Teresa has to agree.
I'll follow
Sure.
in that.
Okay, all three of us. We can leave Lumberlas. Can you clean up
By
the camp, bud?
himself.
Do you want arrows in your back? I'm coming.
I like this antagonistic bro relationship we got going on here, actually. Why don't you check out my behind as I go run to save the day again?
See, this is what happens. Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, so yeah, I just mumble in Elvish slurs at Falcor as we go.
You guys run ahead, and Teresa, you look down and you'll see that it is the orc who is now bleeding out and unconscious, basically laying on the foot of a tree. And go ahead and cast Cure Wounds. So for that, I think you just have to roll
Okay.
and implement the spell. So it
Okay.
should say what the dice are.
The let's see. Doesn't say. I don't know. What does 1d8 mean?
That's so it's the D8. So go ahead and roll a
Oh.
D8.
So it's an 8-sided
One
die.
8-sided die.
One
Yep.
of them. Okay. Sorry. All right. Rolling it. I got a 3.
Plus you
Plus-
have a ability modifier, which I think is +3. So what's the total?
Is that the proficiency bonus?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Plus
Yeah,
3.
+3. So that's a total of
6.
6.
Lawyer math.
So as you lean down and cast Cure Wounds, you all see like a bead of light just illuminates out of Teresa's hand, and this wound just kind of seals up. Still bloodstained, but no longer bleeding out, and the orc just kind of comes to. What happened? What happened?
Teresa.
Something happened. We were all kind of busy with the zombies. But you were way over there. We only heard the scream.
Well, you saved the day. Just rest for a moment. Let's see if we can find Wheatley.
Wheatley. Oh, those creatures, they attacked us, and they got Duke and Wheatley. They dragged them away. That way, down there. And he points down a path in the woods.
Fantastic. Falcor takes off without thinking.
I need you to roll a strength check, Falcor, because you're holding the zombie and you might get fatigued after a little while. So,
all right, sure. Fine. Oh, I didn't want to roll them all, just the one die. Sorry, bear with me. I 10. And my strength is 15 plus 2.
Oh yeah, so you'll be able to carry him ahead and not really feel too fatigued, but like every so often you feel that like bicep tense up as you're holding this guy up.
It's worth it though. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's worth it.
Brains.
We're gonna get you through this, Brains.
Brains. The rest of you, do you all follow Falcor?
I'll follow Falcor.
Thanks, Spencer. Especially since I said without thinking.
Buddy system usually works. So yeah.
As we get further from Lumberlas, hanging out in the street.
We keep trying to leave him behind.
Coming along, I'm just muttering louder in Elvish.
I mean, Lumberlas, you'll have been standing there probably towards the back of the party and watch as Falcor just takes off in a beeline.
Yeah, I'm doing it as Lumberlas. I'm just doing this.
I'm a giant red dragon with a zombie on my shield running through the forest. Let's do it.
So many things.
Someday we'll tell the backstory of how Lumberlas and Falcor got together in the first instance.
Yeah, one was making stupid decisions. The other one was muttering along in Elvish behind him.
And so would tell the tales of the Fairfax 4.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh my gosh. So Mazarin's coming with me. Is Teresa coming with me? I don't know.
Everyone's coming with you. We decided. We're all going with you.
Oh, you're in the back.
You're coming blindly after you running off with a shield with a zombie.
We must save them. They are innocents.
And you guys will run for some time, just kind of running through the night, casting a light in front of you like a half-working flashlight with brains. And eventually you'll come
like as a beacon to attract bad things.
And well, as you guys are running through,
looking at things again, Lumberlas.
All those flavors, and you choose salty. Come on, man.
We are heroes. We shall save the day.
The salt of the earth.
Come on, Brain.
You'll hear as you're running through the forest, you'll hear a bunch of noises and skittering and animal sounds, but you don't really stop to engage with them as you all just keep moving. And eventually you're going to come out to what looks like a bit of a clearing with a kind of mountain in front of you and the entrance to a cave. And you'll see on the ground that there is very clearly blood trail going into the cave.
Dun, dun, dun. Ominous.
What do you all do?
Do any of you have any ability to detect anything with the blood? I do not. I have a zombie.
This seems promising. I'm sure there's good things inside this cave.
Definitely good things.
Does anybody remember
Very
the
good
map?
things.
Is this the cave we were looking for in the first place?
Roll a perception check.
All of us or just me?
Just you.
God help us. All right. I keep rolling all the dice at once, so my 75 shouldn't count. That's a 6.
Okay.
And then My perception is a +2 against a 14.
Okay, so as you say, is this the cave? You look up and see that there is a sign over the cave that says Wallimore Chasm.
Hey, folks. Amazing. We're amazing people. You know that? Good job, Brains.
Brains did good.
All right. Well, since we just took off running, we will confer. Should we go into the cave, team? Seems like that's where the things are happening. Brains concurs, by the way.
That thing is gonna get loose and eat somebody.
Brains will be fine, Mazarin. You worry.
I like brains.
Yes, let's go to the cave. Let's
Don't
go
be
find
so
out what's
quick
happening.
to deal out death and judgment. All right, so we'll proceed to the cave.
Okay, what is the marching order? Who's going in first?
I've got the giant light shield with a zombie on it, so I think I should go in front.
Okay.
And then it worked out last time, right? Me, then Lumberlas, then Mazarin, then Teresa.
Works for
everybody
me.
like that one?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you start marching into the cave, and it is a rocky, earthy ground, and you carry on for some ways until eventually you see that there's a fork, a path going left and a path going right.
Oh, clearly we split up, right, team?
I feel like all the bad decisions are made by Falcor.
Falcor might be the only one making decisions. Bad, good,
Can't
and
you
different.
take a pause? Don't you have that giant light on your shield? Look down at the ground. Which way does the blood go in the fork?
Now you're thinking with portals, friend, and I don't even know what that means.
Science!
All right, so the team looks down on the ground and looks for blood.
Do you point the shield down?
Sure. Well, no, we slightly we angle the shield. We don't want it completely parallel to the ground. We don't want Brains getting any ideas.
Brains does not like being tilted. Brains.
I can't imagine you do, friend, but hold on. This will be over soon.
As you point the shield down, you'll see that there's a blood trail going to the left.
Ooh.
But
Sounds
there
like
could
we
be
need to go
loot
to
on
the left
right.
then.
I don't know about you, but I've always lived by the mantra, we go where the game doesn't want us to go forward first. Does anybody
Side
know?
quest? Is it side quest time?
I this is where I find the most loot, really. Has that not been your experience?
We can investigate there later, but we should at least find more than half of Wheatley's body so we can bury him.
Mazarin, you never let me go for loot.
Wheatley could still be alive for all we know.
All right, you make a good point. But I will do my best to remember where this was, and I will mark it in my brain as the loot cave. Thank you. So we proceed to the following the
You
blood
start
trail.
moving down the blood trail.
Follow blood trail.
I know.
Blood trail.
David's politely waiting for so is that, are we
Yeah, we're going to the blood trail.
good convo, but what do you, so we'll go with the blood trail.
And as you move down that trail, eventually you'll continue forward and enter into a room. And you'll notice that on the ground beneath you, it seems like there's some kind of cobwebs as the blood trail continues onward and just kind of sputters out. But Falcor, as you move into this room, you'll notice as your light just begins to...
Oh, no. Yeah, it's timed, huh? All right. I would like to use Divine Sense again.
Okay.
So that's
I think that's your second use on that one.
Yeah, it says I get 4.
Oh, okay. So number
I don't know
2,
what you gave me. I'm just following the rules.
chat, we have our first rules lawyer of Lawyers and Dragons.
I'm looking at a giant number 4, chat. Don't let him confuse you.
No, I'm not questioning. It's funny.
I hear Shelobes rolling around here. I'm using Divine Sense, damn it.
As you cast Divine Sense, Falcor will pick up that further into the room there are tons of spider webs, and you start to see like light sources, magical light sources, lighting up particular bundles of spider web. You'll also notice that there is a very clear magical source coming from the ceiling, which seems to be at least 100 feet high.
There's a freaking spider up there.
Friends, I think we might have a
bodies.
giant spider on our hands. Yes.
The powers of deduction are impressive.
Thank you, Teresa. I know. See, Lumberlas, be more like Teresa.
I was the one that said there's a spider up there.
Yes, we heard you.
To be clear, Lumberlas is the only one who can now see in this room that has dark vision, I believe. The rest of you are kind of standing in the dark. I will give you all basically one action before something is going to happen. So what do you want to do?
Create more light.
Yeah.
Do we have anything to create more light? Do you have? Can you do light again?
Yeah, I can turn anything into light. What do we have other than your shield?
I still have that shield. What?
I could just
light on
recast the
brains.
shield.
Yeah, I'm wearing. So the
Brains,
shield
you know
does have
what?
the shield
I
does have
will
the brain
I will
problem.
illuminate the room with Brains' eyes. How about that?
Oh, a lit up
No,
zombie
his
skull
brain is
lantern.
looking around everywhere. We need something to focus on light.
Every time that Brains blinks, the lights go out because it's his eyes is the source.
Well,
Okay,
I'm
then
wearing a
let's
helmet,
go.
right?
Let's go with his nose then. How about that?
Wait, hang on.
A little bit
How
more
far can I shoot?
consistent.
How far can I shoot my arrows? Let me see.
I think it's like over 100 feet.
So what if we lit up an arrow and shot it up in the ceiling and hit the ceiling?
Nice. Let's do that.
That's pretty ball.
Lumberlas, your first good idea of the day.
We also need to see down here. I'm going to try to light a torch while they're doing that.
Okay.
Well, hold on. We have magical light arrows here, friend. Light a torch. Seems a little pedestrian. What do you think,
Mazarin,
Brain?
you successfully light a torch
All right,
while
fine.
Lumberlas shoot your arrow.
Just one roll. 14.
Okay. So you knock an arrow and you shoot it. And as you shoot it, Teresa hits it with light and it just illuminates the path moving up. And as it flies up, you'll see a gigantic spider hanging on top of the ceiling, now looking down at you and begins to descend. And I need everyone to roll for initiative.
Oh, good.
How many? What sided die is it?
20 sided, and then plus your initiative, which I think yours is 3. Yes, plus 3. So whatever you roll, plus 3.
Okay.
12 modified.
12 modified.
8.
8.
12, 8, 8.
We're going to get some spider attacks first.
Okay. Okay. So at the top of this, Mazarin, you'll have your torch lit, and you could see everything that's in front of you directly. All of you can kind of see a little bit more because of the light source coming off of Mazarin, but Mazarin has the best line of sight in this cave. And that spider comes down, and it's going to get to go first, but as it's still hanging, as it's coming down, it's going to shoot a web of spiders at Falcor. And
Hold on. I'm going to need a better description. A what?
You don't need to say the description again. Spiders ugly, bad. Nope. I see it's shooting
Just
something
like
at
a
us.
million spiders.
Nope.
It's shooting like a bundle of little spiders at you.
Mm-mm. No, it's not.
Lumberlas, friend, do you have an issue with spiders?
I need Teresa and I need Falcor to roll dexterity saving throws, or you're gonna get hit with the web with the little spiders on it.
Okay. And dexterity throwing. That's again 8.
Yes.
20
So
sided.
20 sided plus 3, Teresa.
5.
20 sided plus 3 because of the proficiency?
Yeah, you had so dexterity,
Yeah.
whatever the little number is right above your dexterity number.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
minus
So
this one.
I just have a 10 on dexterity, but I rolled a 16.
16. And then what's Teresa's?
My dexterity is 12 plus 1, and then I rolled a 5. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, so plus 1,
Okay.
so you got a 6.
Okay.
So you all see as Teresa boom gets hit with the web, it hits your feet. You are pinned in place. You cannot move. Falcor, you're able to step aside before it hits you.
Lets
Big
me take
dragon,
the brunt
tiny
of it.
feet.
Lumberlas, it is your turn. The spider is still hanging up. It is about 60 feet away at this point. What do you want to do? You have clear line of sight on it because of your dark vision.
Yeah, but Teresa's feet are tied to or stuck to the ground. Let's take a hack at that web that's tied her feet to the ground. I can still see the spider.
Okay. You go ahead and roll a strength check.
Ooh.
6.
Okay, as you wait, plus your modifier, which is
21. So wait, plus 2. So strength
8.
8.
So 8. As you reach
that
down, you go in to put your hands and try to tear through the web, and you get a little bit on you, but you're able to free one of her feet. So she's going to move at half, but she can now move again. But you have a little bit of webbing on your hands, and like little spiders now got on your hands.
Nope. Someone burn off my hand. Someone do something. Get it off. Of
It's
me.
gone.
You still have an action if you want to attack.
I want to attack the spider that's on my freaking hand.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I can use. It says I have simple weapons. Like I have
Yes.
like a little. Yeah. I'm gonna use.
Yeah,
my
you
little
could-
simple
you
weapon
could-
and just.
Roll another strength attack. Strength check.
All right, that one is a 11.
11.
That's,
So because these guys are so small, you're able to just ping, and it just goes flying off of you. And so you still have the webbing on your hands, but you're free. With that, Mazarin, it's your turn.
Oh, wonderful. Believe it or not, I'm actually fairly terrible at doing anything at distance. How far away is it?
It's 60 feet up. It still hasn't come all the way down yet.
Let's see.
First, you know what? Give me a perception check.
That is not where I'm excelling. That is a 5. So that is not.
Plus, you have a torch. So I would also give it to you at an advantage because you're the only one that has like the best sight in here.
That takes it to. Sorry, I'm just checking to make sure I don't have proficiency. 15.
You see that on the other end of this cave, there is a door. A pathway on the other side that you can escape through.
Friends, do we want to make a break for it?
I feel like Teresa's moving half speed, so someone's got to get something off her foot before. Otherwise, she's going to get stuck behind it. She's going to get attacked by the spider.
I'm going to
Yep.
cause fear at the spider.
You're going to cast cause fear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we want the giant spider afraid, Mazarin?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
What's the DC to pass?
14. Wisdom save.
It rolled a 10.
All right.
This
Uh-oh.
spider is afraid of Mazarin.
It is frightened, so it can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear. So long as that holds up, which will not be long, it gets to save again on each of its turns. So it also has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls right now.
Nice.
It is afraid of Mazarin and the torch. It does not like light.
Fire bad, as they say.
Fire bad brains. Hoeg, it is your turn, Falcor.
Yeah. Can you describe Teresa's situation to me just again briefly?
So she got hit with that webbing, and it hit her feet. And Lumberlas was able to clear one of her feet, but the other one is still pinned. So for her to move, she's going to be sticking to the floor every time she steps forward.
Okay. All right. Well, so I want to start out with, as a bonus action, issue a champion's challenge that compels all other creatures within 30 feet of me to do battle with me.
Okay.
So you just had wasn't the spider? The spider was afraid. The spider was afraid of us. You have a zombie that is
Spiders!
within 30 feet of you.
But it's 60 feet up, so
Falcor, just there's that one guy in the group that just says, "Let's fight everything."
I think I have to roll a saving throw for that. And the spider failed with a 5.
Yeah, you have to make
What
a
about
wisdom
the zombie that's on his shield?
The spider is just going to, as the spider's like kind of skittering upwards a little bit, just then turns and looks at Falcor and has full attention on you, and you'll see that its like legs just start moving back and forth in a creepy way.
Excellent. And then I believe I am going to issue a command spell to Brains.
Okay.
Brains.
He's tied to your shield. What are you going to command him to do?
I want to hear it out.
And I'm going to give him so I'm allowed, in case you don't know, chat or otherwise, I'm allowed a 1-word command.
Oh, God.
And you've been thinking of this word, haven't you?
Well, no, actually, this is a different scenario than I had anticipated for this 1-word command spell.
You anticipated the scenario?
No, it's a different one, but I'm surprised.
I wanted something to command, and he attached himself. You know what? Enough, Lumberlas. So we're going to say one thing. We're going to command Brains to eat. And we're going to release him.
That's us.
Does he know?
What?
I get one word. I'm hoping it's the spider.
I'm mad that my arrow missed. You just sicked Brains on all of us.
You are cut off from having ideas, man.
I'm the one that's supposedly like dragging behind. I don't see how this helps me in any way.
Literally, you let Brains loose, and Teresa is back there dragging her leg, going, "How are you SOB?"
The one benefit is I can turn him around.
Brains understood we could have killed him. He's on our side, folks. Have some
He's
faith.
a zombie named Brains.
Brains.
He's gonna eat the web. He's gonna release Teresa. It's gonna be fantastic. Have faith.
I'm the cleric here, and I don't really have much faith in this.
You didn't give him a command that said "eat web." You gave him a command that just says "eat."
I get one
It's a
word.
zombie.
Yeah, but he gets to say the word that.
If you know a big Latin root word that only means eat spiders or eat spider webs, I'm all for it.
I'm gonna look this up.
What is the word that you were going to say to Brains?
Well, apparently, I informed the party that what my plans were, and there were some objections to Falcor's plans.
Technically, there isn't in game. Falcor wouldn't be affected by all the banter.
Okay.
All of us, on the other hand, would be.
Well, then, I don't know. You're gonna let me do this again because I like eat. I like.
I mean, do what you gotta do, man.
You might as well go for it.
You want a word? Look at the private chat. Here we go.
This is,
Here's your
a
word.
lot of bad stories have started with "you want a word? Look at the private chat, Rob."
There's your word. That is Latin for "eat spider."
There's a dash in that.
Also,
all right.
Teach it something. Teach
Does
it
the
something.
zombie understand Latin?
Oh no.
Oh, that's right. He does have to understand. Okay, let me back up a step. They have to understand my language. Can Brains understand me, GM?
I technically yes, because they were also humanoid. So
All right, cool. So we've crossed that threshold. Then you know what? We'll dial it back, chat. But I want you to know that the rest of the group here on this episode prevented us from seeing what would happen if we just ordered Brains to eat. I want you to hold it against them. So I will command Brains to help, and I will release him.
as you command Brains to help, which is a very good word, Brains is going to very slowly move away from you and then reach down, fall over, and then pull the webs off of Teresa's other foot before rolling over and not now being able to get up.
You did good, buddy. You did good.
Brains. Brains.
I don't know if I'm out of actions, but if I'm not, I'd like to pick him back up.
Well, you would be able to move, but everything else you would be spent on at this
All right,
point.
we'll wait then.
Teresa, it is now your turn. The spider is still hanging from the ceiling. You're free. Your movement is free again. And Mazarin has pointed out that there is an exit that you guys can escape through. What do you want to do?
I can. Is this a door that's open or closed, or is it just a pathway?
It's a pathway. It's like an open archway.
Okay. Would it be helpful to scare away the spider further away from us if I create some kind of harmless tremors in the ground for 1 minute?
We can run.
And
Or you can run.
It is
You-
now.
We're no longer webbed, right? So we do have the option.
Why don't we,
You
why
can
don't
move.
why don't
We can
get
just
the hell
leave?
out of Dodge?
Okay.
Yeah,
You
Okay.
can leave, but absolutely you can still cast the spell and move at the same. Like you could do both.
Okay, let's do
So-
both.
What
Why
I want to
not
know
both?
from you is what sound effects and what are the tremors?
What do you mean? What are the tremors?
What is the noise that
What's
we are
causing it?
hearing? Yes.
It is the I don't know. It is the giant kraken that is in the nearby sea that caused a tsunami.
Okay. You all hear a very loud, very aggressive whale noise, like Finding Nemo whales.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that is echoes through this cave to
There
the
you
point
go.
where it kind of rattles the walls a bit. And Teresa, you move to the exit.
Yes.
Okay, you get cleared. As you get cleared, you look over to your left and you see that there is a lever that would close the door. There's a door, it's just up.
Okay.
You
Oh,
hit that.
Teresa.
Do you hit that now?
I think maybe after
You
we're
are
all
the
through,
only
we
one
close
clear.
it.
Lumberlas, it is your turn.
Before Teresa makes the decision of closing the door, I'm going to get through that passage.
All right, so the first thing you're going to do is just run through the passage, or are you going to do anything else in this room? Do you
For the
pick
sake
brains
of the
up?
game, I kind of want to lash brains to Falcor's shield again.
Can he do that?
You can do that.
Yeah.
I just need a strength check.
Natural 18, so 20.
Lumberlas with one hand picks brains up, throws him onto the shield. Falcor grabs his arms, and you guys just throw that rope back around him and bring
Here's
him
your
like,
stupid pet back.
Oh, you've come around, Lumberlas. You can't lie to me, bud. Oh, this big dragon bud is a big fan of yours, buddy.
For everyone back at home, this is called character development. We have succeeded in having real character development. This is great.
I'm gonna give you a big dragon kiss when we get out of here.
Oh no! Save the kiss. Save the kiss for brains.
Those are some spicy kisses.
Brains.
Mazarin is just like, what the hell?
Lumberlas, you then run for the door. You get cleared. Mazarin, it is your turn.
I'm gonna head for the door.
Okay. You run for the door. You are also cleared. Is there anything else you want to do?
Just holding up concentration on the cause fear so that hopefully Falcor can make it through, unless he wants to stand there and yell at it.
Falcor, it is your turn. What are you
The
doing?
question: will Falcor decide to make a stand?
Don't.
We
Can
call
we
it
roll to
Yeti.
take his brains away? Can we roll to like take over for him?
You can't
Maybe
drag
it's-
Falcor. First, Falcor believes in positive reinforcement and would like to communicate to Brains that he did a fantastic job and that I'm proud of him. And then
Falcor rolls a 1.
I will leave the room with the rest of the party.
Break.
Sorry, Wheatley.
Yeah, you all get cleared. And Teresa,
I hit the lever when I crossed the threshold.
Was Wheatley actually in that room, or
We don't know.
no, not that you had seen.
if he was probably up? So We'll just call that, yeah.
You pull the lever. A giant stone door slams behind you, sealing you off from dealing with that spider. Before you lies another hallway. Very dark.
Another spider.
With another spider. Now there's two more. No, in front of you it's just dark again. And like for a second where it was very intense, very aggressive, now it is still. And
So is that are we done with the combat encounter?
The combat has ended, yes.
So I would like to just slightly push the shield to the side, brains perpendicular to me. I would like to give Lumberlas a big dragon hug.
That's worse. I can take that. That's fine. Does Mazarin still have a torch?
Yes. Yeah, that hasn't gone out.
I also would like to take this moment to point out that, because I'm a cleric, my brain is often out in the ether, not, grounded with everyone else. So I do actually realize that I have some ability to see in the dark too.
Oh, excellent.
I should have pointed that out earlier.
So
why does everybody think you can't see anything? Wonders
halfway
Teresa
through our
quietly to
freaking
herself.
cave. We have wasted how many different moves to light shit on fire?
I still need to see in the dark. If you want me to be of any assistance with spells, like keeping that spider from eating us.
Yeah.
Evil flees from Falcor whether he can see it or not.
So for me, darkness is a dim light, and a dim light within 60 feet of me is a bright light. So,
yep,
that's,
you both have dark vision, and
now I'll
Mazarin's
go back to
casting
my
this-
meditations.
Perfect.
I like it. The fizzy water cleric.
Fizzy water cleric. That is now a deity.
Bobs and then it comes off, goes off set. Like,
All right. Well, so Mazarin, let's you and I. You have a torch. I will take the lead with you behind. You can shine the light. You can shine the torch behind us. These two can see whatever they want. So let me lead. You follow, torching in front of me, and we'll let the dark lookers come behind us.
You guys move ahead, and as you start moving ahead, what you are hearing is because it's very quiet, it's very still. You start to hear the slight pitter patter of water.
Mm.
And as you continue down this path, eventually it's going to open up into not a well lit, but a gently lit with white light kind of room. And instantly, everything is going to change as you see tied up on the floor is one of your companions from before, but it's Duke, who is now tied up. And sitting next to him is a number of people that you have not seen before. All just sitting there tied up.
The kidnapped.
Gagged. They can't speak. To the
Our
right.
perceptive investigation has yielded results. We are so good at finding people.
They are all alive. But then you see to the right is this giant kind of pool of water. Very beautiful, blue, clean water. But sitting up on kind of a pedestal here, there's a little staircase that goes up to another room. There's very clearly somebody standing over a book, flipping it back and forth with a black hood up over their face. And they turn, and you see immediately as Wheatley stands there holding a book and says, "How dare you enter my cavern? Now you will all die." And he's going to start.
We should have let him go. You guys didn't listen from the very beginning.
Falcor is quite confused at this turn of events.
Why are you confused? It was so simple. I've been capturing people for months, leading them here, feeding them to my dragon.
It's just shocking you have some degree of competence. That was not the impression you gave, but
yes, it is a twist. I play foolish to get you to come into my cave.
Yeah, where's your dragon, Wheatley?
It was
If you don't mind
foolish to
telling
get us to come
if
into
you're-
the cave.
Let us know.
As like you guys are standing there, he just starts waving his hands around, and you'll watch as all of the people that are kind of tied up, you see like kind of light emanating out of them, including Duke.
Oh, like
emanating
Sailor
out
Moon
of them.
style?
Kind of, but it's like going up in a beam And it's going into that pool. It's just like kind of going up like a funnel into that pool that is on the other side of the room. What are you going to do? You have like split seconds to intervene or do something before we roll initiative.
Wait, so I don't fully understand.
There's a bunch of people tied up.
There's a bunch of people,
Consequence of the
yeah.
light.
Oh, so it looks like he's draining their souls to channel a spell.
So he's
feeding the
essentially a
dragon that's in the
Dementor.
pool.
Yeah, he's
The dragon
feeding-
in
And
the pool.
he has line of sight. That's some kind of
Yeah,
demon
you have
thing happening.
Falcor
Falcor throws his body into it.
You throw your
What?
body into
I
it.
throw my body in between Wheatley and the people.
Okay.
This is easy, Lumberlas.
I have an arrow.
I need
I
an
can
Arcana
hit him in
check
the
from
face.
Falcor.
This is who Falcor is.
Falcor, Arcana check.
No, I don't want to give you any numbers. Let's see. Arcana is 3 minus 1.
Oh God.
So that's a 2. Okay,
Yeah, so
you
your
all
lunge
watch.
looks more like a trip.
No, you watch as Falcor runs and intercepts that magic going into the pool and just kind of briefly for a second seems to freeze up and tense up. And Falcor, you feel a sense of dread overcome you as your armor class is cut in half for the duration of the next combat.
Yep.
Everybody roll
Yep.
initiative.
Another fine choice from Falcor.
Falcor being Falcor.
I rolled an 8.
Well, I also rolled an 8.
Got 12.
Falcor
Okay.
must live with his 2 on initiative.
Oh God.
Okay.
So do I leave Falcor stranded in a beam of light, or do I shoot an arrow at Wheatley's face?
We don't know. I could have stopped some major things. We have no idea. I
You
just lost a lot of
definitely
armor.
impacted something. Yes, your armor just kind of just disintegrates on you, revealing your clothing underneath.
You know you love it, Lumberlas.
Is Falcor anywhere between me and Wheatley? Like, if I shoot another arrow, am I going to miss him again, or possibly?
No, he's
him?
up on, like, he has high ground, so you'd just be shooting up at Wheatley in a second, because you will be going first. But here's what happens. So as Falcor intercepts that spell, you'll watch as the pool of water begins to bubble and move and shake, and kind of tear happens in front of it, similar to a portal. And whereas originally you were seeing a bit of a dragon coming through, what looks like a dragon, as Falcor intercepts, the shape of the dragon changes and shakes, and it is not fully formed. And the dragon flies around in a bit of, just emerges in this spectral ghost-like form in the colors of blue and red and purple, and just kind of an astral ghostly dragon just kind of sits there, mostly just its head just kind of waves back and forth, and it'll go when it is its turn. Lumberlas, this is what you see. What do you do?
Oh, I'm shooting an arrow at Wheatley.
Okay.
At Wheatley. Okay.
Wheatley's the one casting this. He's the one that's still shooting the beam of light, or making the beam of light shoot at people.
I still can't believe we didn't see this coming.
Oh, we did. We did. One of us did. One of us had elvish forethought and knew that Wheatley was the bad guy.
If only you had gone down the other path, you would have discovered things differently.
So much loot.
All right, so
What's that shot on Wheatley?
roll 15 plus 2, 17.
17 hits.
So the damage. Do I do damage?
Yes, then you can roll for damage.
Total 9.
9. So you'll all see, except for Falcor, because you're a little preoccupied, but the rest of you will see as an arrow gets shot and boom, hits Wheatley right in the shoulder, and he just kind of twirls around from that impact. Oh, my shoulder.
Nice.
Does it impact the magic in any way?
No, the spell has been cast.
Okay.
So he's
Okay.
now just been affected. Mazarin, it is your turn.
How far away is Wheatley?
I like to think that's how Mazarin always sounds when it's his job.
Wheatley,
Yes, this is a fine group I find myself in.
with the stairs, Wheatley's 30 feet away. He's just like right up at the top. He's not far.
And what is going on with the sort of horde of other people that he kidnapped?
So it seems like, actually, give me an Arcana check.
That is 15 modified, which I think is 21. Just checking, 21.
So, with a 21. So you'll, just by looking at this scene, you'll see that Falcor has interrupted that spell, and that whole beam of light dissipates. So those people are okay. They just like begin to breathe again. They've been rescued. But that dragon head is still floating there. That spectral dragon is just getting ready to lunge forward, which will impact it. He'll
So
hit
we need
Falcor.
to get the dragon head, is what you're saying.
That is what Mazarin would be possibly internalizing right now.
If you find yourself in a room with a ghostly, color-changing dragon head,
Yeah, that is a bit of a thing. But I also really dislike Wheatley.
Lumberlas and Mazarin go off on their own to extract his end.
How far away is the dragon head?
The dragon head is 20 feet away.
All right. Well, let's. I guess let's throw down a catapult and fire that. I assume there's rocks and so forth around.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. I will try to shoot a rock at it, and if I can, I'll try to put Wheatley as the second person in that line.
Okay.
But I guess we'll go for dragon as the first choice.
Okay, so I think you have to roll the hit.
Nope. Dex save for
Dex save on the dragon. The dragon is very dexterous and is able to just sidestep out of the way. But because you fired with line of sight on Wheatley, he's rolling at disadvantage. And he gets hit and fails with a 10.
So that's 3d8 bludgeoning damage. So
Oh my god.
Not my greatest. That is 7 total.
So what happens here? Because Lumberlas had just shot him and he kind of spun around from the impact. You fling a stone up that just hits him in the back of the head and he goes, ah! And tumbles off the other side of this lift here. And you just hear boom on the other end.
All right.
That boom was a very satisfying noise.
Oh, you got him. You got him until the last act twist. We'll see.
That's
it is. It is now Teresa's turn. Teresa, you just watched Wheatley tumble off the backside of this ledge.
So perhaps I should focus my abilities on helping Falcor since he's so vulnerable. I can give him the shield of faith, perhaps.
Yes,
Double
you
shield?
can. Yes. Well, so now you have a glimmering, glowing shield in front of you that gives you +2 to armor class.
Nice. Thanks, Teresa.
Anytime, bud.
And with
He's
that,
the zaniest cleric, I tell you.
you are going to hear, Mazarin, you're going to hear rustling coming from behind that ledge. And very slowly, you're going to see kind of crawling up is Wheatley, who is still alive and has not died from the fall, who is
Still
then going to
alive.
blast you with a firebolt.
Son of a. All right.
And he misses with a 7.
I tell you what, folks, this scene has involved RGM saying the word portal about a character named Wheatley that is still alive. You do what you do with that.
It was not intentional. That's just the way it turns out, and sometimes that happens in D&D. Oh, silence.
Rob is like, yes, he said those things, Rick. What do you mean by them?
I'm reading.
At my wedding, the cake cutting song was still alive.
And that's how it all comes together, folks.
And to
Falcor
be
style.
fair, chat, I'm putting in, it was spelled Wheatley, not Wheatley. Okay, there is a correct spelling. Let's be clear. Anyway, Wheatley misses, and the dragon goes. The dragon is going to lunge forward and attack Falcor.
Man, Falcor doesn't get to go with that too, does he?
No, Falcor goes last on the lineup. Falcor, 18 to hit you.
All right. So if I'm at a 19 that is divided in half, do we go up or down on that rounding?
We round up.
Okay. So I have got a 10 plus 2 is 12. You said he did what?
18 to hit you.
So I'm hit.
So this dragon just flies forward and tries to bite you, and it does bite. And Falcor, you take a whomping 11 damage. So it lunges forward, just bites through you, and just kind of flies up, just hovering just over you.
Okay. Well, I, as Lumberlas has pointed out, I'm a big fat dragon, so it's okay. It's not ideal, but we're all right.
It's just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound. Brains, are you okay, buddy?
Brains!
He didn't love that, folks. He didn't love it.
Brains is about to suggest some Amica cream for you.
I tell you what, you just can't keep him from doing it, can you, folks? Yeah. Brains could use some, I think. He'd look good.
Brains, well,
all right, I took 11 damage.
took 11 damage. Okay, well, and now it's your turn.
All right. Well, so we're hurting a little bit, but we saved the people, I think. We feel good about that. So I think what we're going to do is so is the light stream is done. The spell's done. We're just standing there with dissolved armor. We've got a shield of faith. We're going to get back into what would be like the center of the room with as much access as possible to everybody. And then I'm going to cast Command on the Dragon Head.
Command on the Dragon Head. Okay.
That's right. I speak Draconis, so I assume he can understand me. I will be speaking it in Draconic. And I'm going to say to this dragon, whatever it means in Draconic.
Sure.
I'm going to say dance.
No legs.
There you go,
So you
GM.
see a shimmying head in the air.
I hope you
Spin
dance.
around.
The dragon rolls, I think it's a wisdom save it has to roll.
It does.
What's the number to beat? Is that listed?
Let me see here.
I think it's like a 14.
You speak a one-word command. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command.
14. Yeah, you have a spell save of 14. And as you stand there, Lumberlas, do you? I don't think you speak Draconic, so you just hear Falcor stands there and speaks a word, but you don't understand what he said.
And I just see the dragon head just shimmying up in the air.
This is exactly what happens. You watch as the dragon head just sobs and begins to move back and forth, just kind of shaking.
And then I look back at Falcor and go, "What was that? Is there a point
I
to
hope
that?
we all dance.
Did you help at all? That was your choice.
He has to
You had
dance.
all
his
these things
turn.
that you could have done. All of these that you have. You have a shield. You have all these things you could have done. That right there. That's what you did.
That was
Okay.
good.
Lumberlas. He has to dance next turn. And how often do we get to see a multicolored light spectacular with a dancing dragon in a cavern?
I can tell you're going to get to see it for one more turn because then the dragon's going to eat you.
I can cast it again. It's
all right,
my
so there's a
favorite
dancing
one.
dragon head. All right, now what?
Lumberlas, it's your turn.
I am going to shoot my grasping arrow at
Okay.
the dragon head. And when the arrow strikes target, conjuration magic creates grasping poisonous brambles which wrap around the dragon.
Yes.
And so that was a, where's my 12 plus 2, 14.
A 14 connects. You succeed. As you shoot, you just see as the arrow just kind of splits off. A magical arrow flies, and roots just kind of wrap around this and hold on to it. So you can go ahead and roll your normal damage. and roll 2d6 poison additional.
All right, total 16.
Okay. Falcor, you'll all see as Lumberlas lets an arrow go, which just kind of explodes into roots and branches that just wrap around this dragon and hold it in place. Those roots then connect to the ground, but it's still floating there. And the dragon starts squirming back and forth. Can't really do too much as it's still dancing in place. Because it's been compelled to dance, so it keeps trying to dance. But unfortunately, that causes friction with the roots, and I need Lumberlas to roll an additional 2d6 slashing because it is moving inside of the roots.
2d6 slashing, 11.
So in total, Lumberlas, on this turn, you have successfully done 27 damage to this dragon from a magical arrow.
Not bad. Not bad. I still don't fully understand how it happened, but I'm glad we're there.
Everything's coming up, Falcor.
And well, with that, Teresa, it is your turn. So standing in front of you now, you see this dragon stuck in place, shimmying, but being restrained by roots. And towards the back of this room, Wheatley is on the ground trying to throw spells at all of you. And what would you like to do?
I will. I don't know exactly what to do. Why don't I use my thaumaturgy spell?
Your what?
I can create another minor wonder, kind of like the whale's call earlier.
So which of these two do you want to target with that? Do you want to target Wheatley or the dragon?
I'm going to target Wheatley. I'm going to yell at him with my voice booming up to 3 times as loud as normal for 1 minute.
And what are you saying?
What, if any?
What?
I'm kidding.
You're going to yell at Wheatley? You're going to scold Wheatley for doing what he's doing?
Yes, exactly. I will scold him for
scolding.
being a disloyal little piece of scheisse. I don't know. If I say it in German, it's like it's not real.
Oh, yeah, because no one tunes in from
actually
Germany. No one ever tunes in from Germany on Hoeg stream.
Yeah, that's in the channel rule. Yes, foreign language is totally fine.
You cast that spell, and all of you kind of hear this projection of voice as it travels from her mouth, and as it impacts the ground there, the ground just kind of shakes underneath the guy, and he grabs his ears and just kind of lets out a scream as he's a bit terrified, and he'll be rolling at disadvantage on his next turn.
Yes, that's what a good scolding can do for you, folks.
Yeah.
And with that, it's his turn, and he's holding his ears. Instead of doing anything lethal, he's going to try to get up, and he's going to just attempt to run towards the other side of the cave, and he's not going to get very far because he's moving at disadvantage with his very damaged legs from falling. So he will get towards a door. The dragon on the other hand,
on the shoulder.
Oh yeah, no, he still has his. He's just limping by, trying to get out. The dragon, on the other hand, because it is still restrained, is going to try to break out of Lumberlas's arrow, and it's actually going to succeed on that with a 16. So the dragon, still dancing, is just going to break out of the roots of the arrow, hover over there, and then open its mouth and attempt to breathe lightning on top of Falcor.
Uh-oh.
Falcor does a 12 hit.
And I'm still at 12 defense.
You're at 12. 12 hits. You are going to be electrocuted for a total of 7 damage.
All right, Falcor can take it.
And now it's your turn.
It's mine again?
Yes.
Let's see. So my hit points are getting lowish. Well, if he's going to hit me with lightning, then I'm going to go up to him and I'm going to hit him with my long sword. No,
Okay.
You know what? He's a dragon. I'm going to stand up in front of him and I'm going to fire breath him.
So he lightning breaths you.
I'm going to stand directly in front of this dragon. And I'm going to say this is for brains. And I'm going to unhinge my jaw. And I'm going to flame him with my breath attack for whatever damage we wind up rolling.
And he fails that save with a 12 as well. So 12 and 12. But this time he failed. Roll your damage.
All right, you got it. Let's do that. And that.
Chat seems to really like brains.
Brains is the best.
He's the crowd favorite.
The crowd favorite.
Everyone thinks that brains is going to save us.
It's because he's secretly a scholar.
All right,
and
so
a
that's
gentleman.
Brains?
7.
He's secretly the mastermind behind Wheatley.
That's a 7 for me on the damage.
7 damage. Okay. As you breathe fire on it, you'll notice that this like corporeal form, this astral form, it just begins to start disintegrating.
Okay.
So it is taking a ton of damage. It's not really in a good place.
And I would like to use my bonus action to cast Compelled Duel on the dragon.
I think that is also a wisdom save on me. And he's going to roll a 13, which is also a fail.
All right, so the dragon has to fight me now.
It cannot fight anyone else in the room. It can only fight Falcor.
Okay.
Lumberlas, it is your turn, and you just watched these two dragon beings unload breath attacks on each other.
All right, so I think I've got... Wheatley is still hobbling away, but he's still within distance.
Yes.
Let's finish him off.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, dang it. 9.
Are you using a magical arrow for this?
No, standard arrow.
Just a regular arrow.
I only have 2 magical arrows for each level.
Okay. Yeah, you loose an arrow with a 9, but a 9 is going to fly just past him, not hitting him.
Wheatley can't be killed.
Well, a 9's a little low.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? I have an extra attack.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, he's bringing him again. 1 was loosed. 1 is coming in again. Oh, 19.
19 hits.
Rob has discovered his good roll sound.
6 damage.
6 damage at a distance. Lumberlas. How do you want to do this?
He done, Rob. How you finishing him?
Oh, it hit him. He's did 6 damage. Is he dead now?
Yes.
But
Where did you want to hit him?
You
We
get
got
to
him
kill
in the
him.
shoulder. His legs are broken. He's covering his ears.
They're bleeding out,
Ooh,
probably.
How about through the throat?
Help me.
Or just like slice it right down the chest, right down the middle.
No, this is an arrow. I mean, this is guys. It's just a.
Oh, it's an arrow. Okay.
Arrow
okay.
to the knee, somebody said.
The Skyrim. The old Skyrim.
The old Skyrim. Lumberlas, you loose an arrow which just goes through this guy's throat, and he just kind of turns to you. You don't understand. And he'll just fall over dead. You have successfully killed Wheatley.
That SOB.
Mazarin,
Single-handedly raising our MPAA rating.
Mazarin, you've just watched as Wheatley has died, and this dragon is compelled to fight Falcor. What would you like to do?
well, that's disappointing. I was hoping I'd kill Wheatley, but how far away?
The dragon is right in front of you.
like immediately in front of me?
Like within 10 feet.
And it breathes lightning, doesn't it?
It just breathed lightning.
I
on
can
Falcor.
confirm.
Falcor is like dusting the lightning off his.
I'm just gonna try to hit it with a scimitar. That
Okay,
seems like the extent of my options right now.
go for it.
And AC 21.
That's a hit.
All right. 7 damage.
Nice.
7 damage, and conveniently, and right on cue, as you bring that scimitar up, it just goes straight through the creature, which has already begun disintegrating, and now it just begins to just kind of explode in place, and then it fizzles out into magic, dissipating, as Mazarin slays the dragon. You have successfully completed combat.
Aha!
Combat
Another
has
dragon
ended.
slayer.
And as is traditional, let's go rifle through Wheatley's pockets.
As you go over and begin rifling through Wheatley's pockets, you find a legendary item called the Mega Pint of Wine. It is an overflowing cup of wine that never ends.
Oh, God, give it here. Give me that damn thing now.
I feel like we need to keep this away from Falcor.
Yeah, because Falcor's
blood
judgment.
runs hot enough.
Should we also
Falcor's
feed
drunk
brains?
judgment.
Raids.
Oh yeah, brains.
Brains
Is
is
hungry.
We can make good use of
Horribly-
Wheatley.
Brains is like horribly scarred right now from the lightning breath he had to endure.
So Falcor
Yeah,
wants to
but
do 2 things. Falcor
We've
is
got
going to
disposable brains.
Don't feed them.
Might as well make good use of them, right?
I concur. Brains, you've been grand. Falcor walks over to Wheatley and tips over the shield to allow Brains access to Wheatley's head cavity area. And he rests on the side of the shield that is on his side, and he lays hands on himself.
And as this is happening, do you guys go and free the people? The rest
They
of you?
can wait. Yes. They have a few things to do. They'll be horrified by what we're doing right this second. Hang on one sec.
Last
We'll
time
have
we
to
tried to
explain
save
ourselves.
anybody else.
I forgot about those people.
The people are all just tied up, looking around. Like, what are they going to do?
I don't know. They're just watching brains feed on brains.
It's
You know,
tied up, they can't
realistically,
move.
They
if
might
we,
be a little
if we
intimidated.
untie them now, they could become a liability because they might start running right into that arachnid that we just got past.
Spoken
No,
like a
we
true
will-
lawyer.
We're not going to
Last
free them
time,
quite yet.
We don't owe them a duty of care beyond.
yes, and the last time we tried to save somebody, it was Wheatley, and look where that got us.
True.
Falcor
What
agrees on the
what
duty
if
of
they
care
are?
point.
They can't all be evil masterminds.
They could be in on it with him.
One of them could be.
They could
You
be
think-
further minions.
You think that it's a cult?
I don't know. We haven't heard any of them say anything. I mean, maybe they're just
Well,
part of
I
the
want
whole
to
thing.
rest up for a moment here and let Brains feed.
It'll take
deserves
Brains a
it.
little while.
Can the people talk or say anything, or are they gagged?
They're all gagged. They can't. They're all just
I'm gonna
making noise.
go because this is messed up.
You don't want to ungag one of them first and find out how they got there before we just start freeing them?
That might be a good idea.
Why don't we ask them?
Like, I guess this could be consensual, but that says some weird things about what's going on here.
We can definitely take a gag off and ask what they know.
Oh, thank you for saving us. He would send these shadows in to capture us in the night. He's using dark magic to drag us out here. And they're all just like,
I'm still not sold.
Is there any other exits to this cave other than the one that we came in to find ourselves here?
So you'll notice that it looks like he was running towards an exit when he was shot through the neck with an arrow. There's
Okay,
another,
and not the
there's
one that
another
we came
pathway
in.
there. Not the one that you came in. It's another pathway. But you'll also, Lumberlas and anybody who's talking to the people, you can roll an insight check to see how you'll actually feel about what they're saying.
I assume he's doing that.
Yes.
14.
I see in the chat somebody saying 4 deer no hostages.
I saw that too. That was great. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
14 insight, Lumberlas, as they're saying, they captured us in the night. You get this feeling like, yeah, this is legitimate. These guys are not messing around. They were being drained of their lives to power that dragon spell. Not exactly a place that they want to be in.
Valakor knew what he was dealing with a bit.
Yep.
I
Offer to set them free for the money in their pockets.
Oh, all right, hold on. Oh, okay, hold on, Lumberlas.
we don't need to rob the peasants.
They are innocent. They are innocents. I would hate to have to come to blows after your wonderful moves with brains.
I think that this one is
Cut them free. Let's cut them free.
Whole cloves of garlic. Let's not bother with them.
And with that, you guys will successfully cut them all free. And as you go out through that other pathway, you'll find your way out to an exit where it is now daylight. You have successfully rescued all of the people. All of the people lived, except for that other companion and Wheatley. But who's counting?
Didn't that? Which other companion got killed?
Oh, no, actually, you did cure wounds him. So he's alive somewhere out there in the world. But Wheatley is definitely dead. He's living the dream.
Yeah, one more companion to go and kill later when he comes and turns on us.
I feel like Lumberlas is a bit broken from this adventure so far. He'll never trust again.
Nope.
And you guys will have successfully escort all of these people back to their homes in the town of Halsworthy. And that will conclude Lawyers and Dragons.
That was awesome.
Thank you so much, everybody. We hope you've had fun.
Absolutely.
Oh, that was awesome.
Nice.
I think my Falcor became a little bit of a naive idiot there in the middle, but I like it. You roll with it.
You've got the armor. It's fitting. You know, you can take all the damage. You can't have tons of headspace.
No,
I get that you say reasonable minds can differ, but you jumped into like a different unreasonable mind for this game.
So here's the deal, folks. I mean, we could talk about this post-mortem style, but it's like if I'm going to play a role-playing game, I'm going to role play. Like that's the fun. That's where the fun lives. I'm a giant red dragon who believes it's like full-on lawful good, has something in his past that's happening, and now is like, oh, there's a scream, run at it. Oh, there's a freaking life-sucking magic spell. He's gonna jump into the beam, and like I enjoy that part of the process of like, what are you gonna do? And yes, I'm mostly a paladin, so I'm kind of used to that thought process.
And you know what? It was a perfectly reasonable thing for a paladin to do. Is like, hey, let's interrupt this. Let's throw my own safety. You know, that makes sense. Like that. Actually, I was like, no, it's crazy, but it's not nuts. If that makes sense.
And David was nice to me because that could have gone real bad.
Oh no, I fully intended one of you was going to jump into that spell. Fully intended it was going to be one of you. I just didn't know which one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So no, I always like. What do I like? I like unexpected companions. So you impale brains on my shield. I'm like, yep, rolling with that.
The chat. By the way, the chat. That was for you. I saw you guys like, don't leave brains. Don't leave brains. I was like, do I actually go and get brains? Yeah. Okay.
Ezrin would have totally left brains just for the.
What's the redemption arc?
Redemption arc.
1,000 likes. You guys are crazy. Thank you so much.
Yay.
What a fantastic thing. Thank you. I appreciate it. Brains is cool. Yeah. Do we get what is the epilogue with Brains? He's still with us. He's hanging out in the party now. It's the Fairfax 5.
So he's like kind of rotting away because he's a corpse. But eventually, if you keep him, he'll just be a head that's still alive eventually. And you can just keep him on your shield. He's not going anywhere.
Can I hook him to my belt, God of War style? All right.
You could definitely do that.
Brains
we
is
can
joining
get a
the
spell to
campaign,
shrink
folks.
his head.
You can do that.
The answer to this question, everybody, is up to you. Right? Obviously, it's a lot of planning and a lot of logistics, but I want to have fun on this channel. I talked to you about it at the top about having fun. I think David's fantastic. I obviously think Ian and Alyte and Rob are fantastic. And, ideally we'd be able to do, either a campaign or one-offs with different groups of people. You can recommend there who you'd like to see after experience this, and go from kind of deer in the headlights into suddenly having a rapport with a giant red dragon and otherwise saving the day, as Rob did here today. So that's up to you. I don't know what everybody always wants, but I'm certainly having fun with it. And so, let us know in those comments. Let us know, in the archives, whatever, about what you like. But yeah.
I'm good to do this. There's a lot of learning.
100%.
This is a big learning curve. But
and I think
so.
Oh yeah, but I think next time we would actually make characters together, so you'll have in your minds already like what you want to do. You'll already know everything instead of just picking up the sheet for the first time. But now you see what the dynamics look like.
Right? Because Ian is putting up with us a lot in the middle of this episode, and I'm here for it. I love it.
I'm having a great time, guys.
I can just see your mind whirling, like, what in the world? What? And then you're great when it comes to when it comes to your turn, because like, I'm going to do this, and I roll this, and there's a 19 here, and it's a 7 here, and then you guys are like talking in D&D full on, and he's like, okay, it's a hit, and he's like, great, and now I'm doing this, and then you knew exactly what he meant when he says how you're going to do this, which is internet code for he dead. What do you want to do? So everybody's reacting really well, and I love the mix of different people that have different experiences. Like Alyte, how did you feel about that? I felt a little standoffishness at the top. We're going to imagine these things, and then I thought you were getting into it.
Yeah, no, I definitely was very unsure of myself going into it, for sure. I mean, because I was like, how is this supposed to work? Like, I don't understand.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I mean, especially because I usually have some kind of a board or something in front of me, that it's just like you're literally just kind of sitting with each other and like talking these things out. But no, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I definitely felt myself getting into it, and I'm sad that it ended already. Like I feel like I could have gone for like a few more hours.
Well, that does happen.
Yeah, we ranged for 1 or 2 hours on this episode. If we decided to go forward with this, we do more logistics and figure things out. But yeah, you could have different session lengths, and a lot of people, you do a campaign, you do a session length, and then we would have left off, and there would have been, it's actually a demonic portal. He would have put a little cliffhanger in there, and we'd be on our way to the next.
I feel like Wheatley would have been actually like one of the minions that was like working for the real boss.
Sure. I mean, what did you say? We don't understand.
The other of our companions that escaped, and we are eventually going to run into again when they try to kill us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's how it leads into things. And then, depending on how wacky you're being on any given, episode or session, you just try to take things off the rails and see if the GM is prepared.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's when it just turns into improv on top of improv. I love that.
The lightly antagonistic relationship.
But I could see myself like feeling how this character is going to develop, and like just as we were developing on, I was like, oh man, I really wish I would have like come into it with like a crunchy granola hippie vibes. That would have been like great for the cleric, just like clouded, like head in the skies, like
yeah.
And that's what's great is like moving forward, if we're going to do this again, or if you're going to stick with these characters, having a backstory in mind of like what was their life like before all of this. And then like that's just now you have an actual character you're playing. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's always wonderful. Like I know I've been at this for a while. It's always wonderful watching people starting out and just seeing that, because you don't always get to see that, right? If you're starting up a group, usually the people who want to show up are people who are like, yeah, I've been playing for however long. It's always nice seeing people when they start going, oh, I'm getting this. And so that's always a real treat. And I also got to say, David, fantastic. I love that.
Thank you.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love your style. So that was, thank you for including me in all of this, because that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
This has been really good.
10 out of 10.
Saturday
We'll do it again.
Like I said, gaming channel. People come together with games. Games are awesome, and I will continue espousing the value of story creation, imagination, critical thinking, and more, as I almost dumped my skull glass over on my laptop, which would have ended it real quick. But I want to thank everybody for participating. David, you're fantastic. You've been fantastic. That animation, which will ultimately end this episode, is his. He's helped us out so much with this, and he was so excited about doing it. He is so easy to work with. You should definitely check out. David, am I right in thinking you have a new show that you're launching today?
Yeah, so I do this with a bunch of other nerds, and we're dropping a new show tonight at 9:30 Eastern, and that'll be over on my channel, which is called Prototopics. So I've been in the chat, YouTube/Prototopics, and yeah, it's gonna be it's kind of a wacky group, Hogwarts-ish. It's called Field Trip, and there are a bunch of students going on adventures, and it's gonna be really good. It may or may not be connected to this, which might be really interesting. We have some guys running around over there that are wearing black cloaks that are doing some nefarious things, and it's just fun to build a big
Look at
connected
that, the
world.
multiverse.
It's a multiverse.
Fantastic. Yeah, you are linked in the description.
Nice.
Absolutely check them out. And it's starting to look like maybe some folks would want to do this again. David, would you be up for dealing with us again at some point in the future?
I would love to. This has been great. This is a lot of fun.
All right. Well, I'm going to do some of the super chats now at the end of this episode before we cut out. Anybody that needs to leave, I had basically locked in a couple hours with everybody. 100% can leave. Otherwise, we're going to talk to the chat, answer some questions, and you can stay as long as you want. Hey, you can stay on this stream after I've turned it off. If you just like being in the studio behind the scenes, it's really up to you. But I want to thank everybody for being involved. They are all linked in the chat here. You can see Legal Bytes, Law and Lumber. You could see Runkle of the Bailey, and I'm really, really appreciative of them giving up some time on a Saturday morning to come do this silly thing, which I really do feel very passionately about as being really connective and awesome in terms of interacting with other people, learning about each other, and just sometimes stretching that muscle, right? How often do you get to be a crazy red dragon paladin that jumps into lightning fields with a zombie on your shield? I say not enough, and that's why we do things like that. So let me do some of these super chats. Andy the Game Maker, my ironic attempt blew up in my face. If you remember, before this episode started, he tried to suggest charismatic problems for his sister Alyte, Teresa, and it blew up in his face because she was charismatic, and she saved us with fizzy water.
I did. My holy fizzy water.
I have no idea what to expect. Well, did it go as you expected? That's the question. I doubt it. It didn't go as I expected. And that's the fun of D&D. I'm totally with Alyte and Rob here. We're not against each other.
No, it's just, we had no idea what we were doing.
Yep.
Totally fair.
Laughing emoji, laughing on the floor emoji. Crazy Cat Queen says, OMG, I'm going to have to Google every other term, like a Vecna, to try to figure out what the heck is going on. Vecna is our joke reference to Stranger Things 4. Watch it if you haven't, but it's very D&D oriented.
It's also a D&D classic, Vecna. So, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So that's why he's popular. We didn't introduce any Kate Bush songs into this session, but maybe next time. We'll have to see how that goes. Apple Pie says, let's go with the dragon emoji. I put him up a few times, but my kids did bring the dragon, which has a belly that keeps my daughter's D20s in, which are right next to me on the desk here. Everybody was very excited about this. Britt Cormier says, just back from the cigar shop. How long before we kill one of these adventurers? Also, who will die first, Rob or Legal Bytes?
Neither.
Everybody survived. We did run from a giant spider.
Alyte did like yell at Wheatley.
I did.
That was what she did.
An ultra loud scolding.
Yeah.
And we had on Twitter, we had people calling for a TPK at one point, which is a total party kill, which means the DM or GM kills everybody. And I was like, probably not the way to do the first time with a lot of these people. That's traumatizing to some people. Like, let's not do that.
It is cool when you realize that you can actually have stakes in a game that lives in your imagination, right? I mean, like that is fun.
Absolutely.
Britt Cormier, watching Legal Bytes and Rob's imagination unlock while trying to explain their actions is actually amazing. I have to admit, there are moments in this episode where Rob and Alyte are like, "Oh, I can say anything," and David has to figure out what the heck I just said. Cool. So a lot of fun there. Absolutely, Britt. Currently hyperfixated. Please ask Fair and Balanced to join the party. If we continue on, there's any number of configurations we could do here with different people, with one-offs, with a campaign with just 4 or 5 of us. We had a lot of conversations behind the scenes because It's a lot of logistics, but if y'all like it, we'll be looking at a lot of different variations of what this might be, because I think it's awesome. Gecko Gamer, release the brains. Brains, I love it. I'm see if I can get my daughter to make some brains art for a shield in front of Falcor.
That's what I was wondering. I want to see the visual. Like,
you want to see some
Yeah.
art? You don't want it from me. Yeah.
We've got some very talented viewers that have sent some nice art.
Vastly more talented than I am on the art side.
Yeah.
So, yes. For your consideration, the Simulacrum, a lockpicking minigame for all RPG systems, crowdfunded on Indiegogo. No longer will rogues be limited to a single roll per round. Great visual for streaming. I like the ads. All right, cool. Cool temporal travels. I will check that out. Thank you so much. Vintage Willow, that was awesome. And we need this regularly. Tell your friends. Watch the archives. Engage with the video. But I think everybody seems amenable. Britt Cormier, D&D is role-playing. It is not role-playing, although there are plenty of roles while playing at Rob. Well, it's wild, right? Because if you've never, ever engaged with a tabletop role-playing game, you get all these rules. David was fantastic, but he's talking to us about what all these stats are, how our spells work, what all these things are. And then one of the smartest things he says in his video, I don't want to give away all your secrets, David.
Oh, no, please.
One of the smartest things he says is basically, this is just a system for establishing outcomes to problems I put in front of you. Like it's a storytelling game, and we're just going to use rules because we want to be able to have some kind of impact that you wouldn't otherwise say. Like if you don't have something outside that's controlling, okay, that's a nat 1, then you wouldn't necessarily go in that direction with what that story element is. So you take a little bit out of your hands and then you're reacting. So it's essentially having, like an AI giving you things to react to, as if you were at an improv class or something else like that. And it can be super, super fun. So Britt's absolutely right. Rob was on top of it by the time of that end of that episode. So 100%.
Hey,
Carol,
Rick,
Dark Sarcasm, thank you so much.
Chat.
Patreon tier for a D&D group. I did contemplate it because I would want some people to get, compensated for this kind of stuff. So we'll see, Don. We'll see. I don't want to just make the easy allies too, but we'll see. We'll see. Absolutely. Alexander Rolla, awesome game. Lawyers and Dragons every week. I will promise you that this would not be weekly. If we did this, it could potentially be monthly, but I don't think we could do weekly. We got a lot of stuff going on. We all have channels. So I'm pretty positive it wouldn't be weekly. But I appreciate the support. Lumberlas needs a redemption arc, but no Tyrann Paladins allowed for the lawyers. Tongues out emoji. Chub Toad, use Roll20 next time for the board game visual as like a source. Yeah, we could definitely add that. We could, it's a pilot. We can do things behind the scenes and we can figure things out that will be improved. I think seeing the die rolls could potentially be helpful.
We could turn it into a video game. Like it looks like a video game. That was some of the oldest games that I did. You could actually move pieces on a board. There's visuals for everything, but there's a lot. That's a lot.
Be improving if you like it.
That's a lot.
If you like it, let us know because there's other things that we can do 100%. And I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody here. Thank you again for all the support. We got people negotiating with me. Okay, not weekly. What about once every 2 weeks? Folks, I am super excited that you are super excited. I'm still betting monthly is about what we could pull off here, and that would still take some doing. But we will look at things behind the scenes, I promise. If you like that, that's fantastic. I liked it. I think everybody liked it. And so I think that's where I'm going to leave you all. So everybody, again, thank you for the support. Thank you for joining me here on the Hoeg Law YouTube channel to do something a little bit different than analyzing legal documents. Thank you, David. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Alyte. Thank you, Rob. And everybody, we will see you on the next episode here. Check out everybody else's channels. And thanks again. Have a fantastic weekend.